Good morning, Yankees universe. Welcome back to another episode of the Yankees Morning Brew on this Thursday, January 25th. Like always, I'm your guy, Hector, joined by my compañero, my co-host, Mr. TC Stills. All you Yankee fans out there, wake up and get some coffee. TC, how you feeling, big fella?
Feeling good. Hey, got my coffee already. So,
You
hey,
got your coffee?
yeah, I got my coffee. I'm ready to go. We got great guests on the show today. I can't
Oh
wait.
yeah.
We got chats all popping off already.
Oh yeah.
So, how you doing? How you doing?
I'm doing good, my guy. I got my big water jug right here ready to
There you
go.
go.
Shout out to
Yeah.
the chat. Shout out to all of you guys out there that have been supporting us. We were on the march for 3,000 subscribers. We broke that yesterday. We are currently sitting at 3,076 subscribers. Guys, we are on our way to
Wow.
4,000 subs. If you guys can, if you're watching us for the first time, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. It helps us out tremendously when it comes to the algorithm. And as for today, we got some good guests. Our friend Keith McPherson will be joining us momentarily around
Yes,
like
sir.
11:15. He's going to come on. We're going to have a nice conversation talking about the Yankees, talking about the Hall of Fame ballots that just went. Obviously, we got to talk about Gary Sheffield being snubbed. Before you guys that are in the chat, if you want to drop any questions for Keith McPherson, just drop them in the chat. I'll try to get to as many of the questions as possible. You guys already know the rules. If you guys drop a super chat with your question, that takes priority and will jump the line and will get your question up front so Keith can ask it. Again, I'll try to get to as many questions as I can. And then later on, our friend Frank Luna will be joining us so we could promote the Aaron Boone event that they got going tomorrow or over the weekend, I should say. Here's the thing right here. Here's a little graphic of it. Just January 27th, 11:30 a.m. is when the doors open at the Baseline So-So in Oceanport, New Jersey. So Frank will be on later on to promote that. And as well, we got some duck races. We got some rubber ducky races that we would do later on in the show. So you guys already know what that means. You guys drop a super chat with Quack. You guys will get entered into the duck race. But TC, like I said, let's have the conversation. The Hall of Fame vote came out. Folks in the chat, let us know. Are you happy? Are you frustrated? Are you upset with how the Hall of Fame ballots came out? One guy that I felt was snubbed, and we'll get to everybody else that's there. Let's give credit to the guys that made it, right? Joe Mauer made it. Todd Helton made it. Who was the last person as well, TC? I'll throw it over to you. Adrian Beltre, right? And the reason why I wanted to throw it over to TC for Adrian Beltre is because Adrian Beltre started his career on the West Coast, not that far from TC, but on the West Coast with the LA Dodgers. The man was 19 years old when he made his major league debut. He played from 19 to 39, 20 years in the big leagues, over 3,000 hits. Probably going to go down as one of the best fielding defensive third basemen of all time. But when it comes to Adrian Beltre, one of the things that always made me excited when it came to seeing an Adrian Beltre at bat or a highlight is when he dropped to one knee. The one knee home runs were always my favorite when it comes to Adrian Beltre. TC, you want to talk about that real quick about Beltre, and then we'll talk about Helton and Mauer as well.
Yeah. Adrian, I mean, well deserved. He definitely long career. I mean, yeah, like you said, those one knee home run, the Reggie Jackson style. I mean, yeah, and he pimped the home runs, and he had that swagger, and the glove at third base. I mean, he was a whiz at third. I mean, he basically was Ozzie Smith at third. I mean, that guy got the plays that he would make, and the range. I mean, just a great player, doubles machine. I remember, like, this guy would just constantly get doubles, and just a great hitter, all around good player. Well deserved, well deserved. I mean, he had, he traveled around a couple different teams, but well deserved in the Hall of Fame. But these other guys, I don't know, we were talking backstage. I feel like they're just letting everybody in now. It just, I don't know. They're snubbing guys that that should be in, and you know, the whole steroid issue, that's another topic for another day.
Yeah.
But Beltre, you know, I give him his flowers. He deserves it, and you know, congratulations to him.
Yeah, and you know, when it comes to the other guys, and we'll talk about them, the other guys being Todd Helton and Joe
Yeah,
Mauer. Todd Helton in his prime in Colorado too. Colorado of all places, you know how people always say that that's just an easy
that's
home
a
run over there in
hitter
Colorado,
friendly
but
park. Yeah.
very hitter friendly. But for me, when you look at Todd Helton's career, he did have some solid seasons, right? 40 home runs a couple of times,
Hmm.
almost 60 doubles in a season, 147 RBIs in 2000, and then 146 RBIs in 2001. And then his power just sapped away and just went away after that. But Todd Helton had a solid career, over 2,500 hits, only 369 home runs. But when you look at Joe Mauer, and I'm not trying to downplay Joe Mauer whatsoever, I don't want people to think I'm trying to do that. But when you look at Joe Mauer and his career stats, I just got this loaded up for a second. Joe Mauer is a career 306 hitter, 2,123 hits, and only 143 home runs. I need to understand the thought process, the logic that goes behind allowing Todd Helton and Joe Mauer into the Hall of Fame, but a guy like Gary Sheffield can't get into the Hall of Fame. I need to understand that. So we're going to start off. We're going to talk about Gary Sheffield. Of course, folks in the chat, let us know anybody else that you felt was a snub. We'll get to the Barry Bonds. We'll get to Alex Rodriguez and all that. But my guy DM on on Twitter says Gary Sheffield should 100% be in the Hall of Fame. He's one of 4 players to hit over 500 home runs, still 250 bases. He has a 60.5 B WAR rate, and that's higher than 16 other right fielders in the Hall of Fame at the moment. If you say you've never done the iconic Sheffield bat wiggle, you are lying. Because I know I did that when I was young. When I was young in high school, growing up, that's around the time that Gary Sheffield was with the Yankees. And from the first time I ever saw Gary Sheffield at bat, I grabbed my bat and I did the same wiggle, shake move.
Yeah.
TC, what's your thoughts on the snub that happened? And then it was his last year on the ballot again. So Gary Sheffield, he's gonna have to wait for that veteran writers committee to come together before he gets a chance to be in the Hall of Fame. What's your thoughts?
Yeah. It's a shame. I don't. They should take away some of these voters. I mean, honestly, they got to redo who gets votes, and you know, who's their ability to pick these guys, because it's a shame. Yeah, he might have been unapproachable at times. I know with the media, I know that's like a big thing. You know, if the guys that vote, if they you know seem to get snubbed at an interview or something, they hold that against him, and they don't, and then they're not looking at his numbers. And 500 home runs, career batting average 292. I mean, this guy was a deadly hitter.
Oh
I
yeah.
mean, he was a threat in that lineup. He to not be in the Hall of Fame. I mean, this guy for sure. I mean, Sheffield was that bats, that to swing. I mean, who doesn't know that swing? If you did a recreation, I mean, everybody would know who that was. So
Yeah.
iconic bats, swing, and it's just a shame. I really think they need to go through and redo who can vote for these players, because honestly, I mean, and then you're looking at Joe Mauer and Todd Helton.
Yeah.
Compare them to Don Mattingly. Why isn't Don Mattingly in the Hall of
That's
Fame?
another
If
one.
you're gonna
That's
put
another one
Joe,
right there.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean that drives me nuts. I mean, the guy was a Hall of Famer for his short career. I know he got shortened because of the back issue, but my goodness, yeah, it's a shame, and yeah, I feel bad for Sheffield, but maybe in a couple years when he comes around again, he'll get another shot. But yeah, again,
Hopefully,
I
man.
really think they need to go through these who gets the votes and not.
Hopefully, I want to shout out. I want to shout out the chat before we continue. Shout out to my guy NYY News El Numero Uno Ruben, who is in the building. Ruben, how are you doing? My guy NFE and the Strike Zone is in the building. NFE, how you doing? John P, my guy Johnny P is in the building. I mean, what makes media morons more qualified than players to vote when it comes to people into the Hall of Fame? John, we right there. We're going to get into that because my guy Randy Wilkins, if you guys saw that Derek Jeter documentary, the director of it, he has his thoughts out. I'll get into it after I finish the roll call. But John P, appreciate you in the chat. My guy El Michael Caputo is in the building. Caputis, how you doing? Salute. Big time Jerry is in the building. Jerry Cadell, how you doing? Damian Serrano is in the building.
Yes.
Damian Serrano, salute, my guy. Appreciate all of you guys who are in the building. Stephen B is in the building as well. Celso, let me know if you're free backstage, if you could just come up, because I know we got a duck race later on, but we got some different rules about the duck race this time around. So I'm gonna throw it over to Celso. He disappeared for a second. There he is. I'm gonna bring my guy
all over
back.
the place. That guy,
exactly,
the hardest working guy backstage.
And then he disappeared again. There you go. So let the people. Okay, come on. We got to show it, dude.
All right.
Let the people know the rules for this duck race that is coming up and how they can get involved.
Great. Before I do that, I mean, since you forced me to come on the show, Gary Sheffield got freaking screwed. All right. I put in the chat, bro. I lived in Florida during the World Series days. All right. Where they had that nice run and they built the super team. Oh, I loved watching Gary Sheffield's game. TC, you said it. He was a slugger, man. The way that swing, you knew when Gary was at the plate. I can't believe he got snubbed the way he did. It's shitty. It's ridiculous. But what up, Brew Crew chat fam? Yes, we're doing some duck races today. So check it out. We got two ways to enter. All right. You've got your normal super chat. You drop a $5 little super chat and quackity, you're in the duck race. But as we mentioned this week, we're doing what's called buymycoffee.com. So what we're going to do is to help promote our Buy My Coffee. If you go to that link and do the $5 chat there, you will get double entry into all the giveaways today, right? So guys, the reason we're doing the Buy My Coffee is we literally get to keep 95% of everything you guys donate to us every time, instead of just the 30%, 70%, well, YouTube keeps actually 35%. So it's just a way to get you double entry. The link is right there. Let me see it pop it up. Today we will do a giveaway. Bam! $5 super chat gets you entered into Duck Race. Double entry if you go to www.buymeacoffee.com, Morning Brew Sports. And then it pops up and you guys can leave us a little message and it's really sweet and all that good stuff. And
yeah. Where's the promo? I like that. That I saw that yesterday.
The promo.
The promo video?
Yes.
Yeah, where is that?
Let's play the promo video.
What up, Brew Crew chat fam? So check it out. We've been banging our heads against the wall nonstop for months. We've been offered all kinds of affiliates that we're able to bring to you, and we get a little percentage just for convincing you that you should own this product. We love it too. But that's not us, and you guys know that. We love to work and earn every single super chat that comes our way. But we're tired of getting super chats and then having to give such a big percentage to YouTube. So we now have what's called buymeacoffee.com. Here, you can drop a little tips by buying us a coffee. It's really great. But the bigger picture is we want to build in 2024 with you, alongside you, and show you where every single penny goes. We're not a funded company. We're not backed. We don't have these big investors. And why would we want that? Just so we can sit here and convince you to buy crap you don't need. So we made it easy. You get to see every single thing we're trying to achieve. Not what we're trying to make financially, but what events we're trying to bring to you and what new shows are we trying to launch. So now you can actually play a part in helping the Brew Crew go even further in 2024. You helped us hit almost 3K subscribers in under 10 months, and we can't even imagine how far you guys will take us this year in 2024. So if it's something you're down with, it should be popping up right about now, right? Bam! There it is. Check it out. Help us out. And we look forward to growing and building alongside the Brew Crew chat fam in 2024.
That is right. So make sure if you guys, like Uncle Tatch just did right now, you can do the traditional $4.99 for the super chat. And he said, if the riders want to make sure a player gets in each year, fine, okay, but just make sure it is the right guy. Uncle Tats, first of all, I love you, my guy, and I appreciate you with the $4.99 super tat. Uncle Tats will be entered into the duck race. If there's anybody else in the chat that want to enter the duck race, you can give a super chat like Uncle Tats did, or you can go to buymycoffee.com and get yourself a double entry into the duck race. Salute to my guy Sunil, who is in the building.
Where you been, brother?
I haven't seen you in a while, my guy. I hope all is well. I hope the health is good. I hope the new year is treating you well, Sunil. Hope all is well. But now back to the conversation. When it comes to the Hall of Fame, when it comes to Gary Sheffield, right? Listen, if some reporters, right, and like I said, I want to bring this up because Randy Wilkes talked about it. The director for the Derek Jeter doc. What's up?
Yeah, real quick, I want to give a shout out to 01LS1Z28DABX. Came through to buy my coffee with a $5 buy my coffee. Appreciate you. You have double entry into the giveaway. Oh yeah, people buying us coffee. How on brand is that, guys? Welcome to the Morning Brew. You just bought a coffee.
Oh yeah.
The Strike Zone NFE just said he just did it as well. So just double check and let me know when it comes to NFE so we can give him a shout out. But you know, Randy Wilkes.
Oh my gosh, I'm sorry, Heck. I'm sorry. I'm gonna keep interrupting the shit out of you today until Keith gets here. But listen, we got NFE coming through with the $5 buy me a coffee. Appreciate you, NFE. You are entered into the duck race. Quack. And then our boy Damian Serrano just came through with a $5 buy my coffee. Oh, you guys are so good. Quack.
That's right. So again, guys, if you guys want to enter into the giveaway that our friend Frank Luna will help us do later on in the show, all you got to do is give us a $4.99 super chat or go to buymycoffee.com and get yourself a double entry. Buy us a coffee. And as well, I see we got over 40 people in the building. If you guys can smack that like button for you guys. We are sitting at 3,077 subscribers. And I felt it was on brand. I'm gonna just take this off real quick because we got our guest backstage, my guy Keith. Keith, let me just get a thumbs up. Let me know if you're ready to rock out with us. So we got our guy Keith McPherson backstage, and when Keith joined us last time, right, for the first time that he was on the show, we just cracked 1,000 subscribers. So I made sure it was fitting to have Keith back when we cracked 3,000 subscribers. So folks in the chat, if you guys can throw the applause into the chat. Shout out my guy Keith McPherson. Keith, good morning, good sir. How are you doing?
Yo, my bad on the tardiness.
Good, Keith?
Bro. Like I just woke back up. I was up well, hello everybody. But to explain why I'm late, y'all can dock me when you send the invoice. Take 10% off.
All good, all good.
I was up. I didn't go to sleep till like 2, 3. I think I tweeted this out. I didn't go to sleep till like 2, 3. My son gets up yelling and screaming like 6:37, and I feed him, change his diaper, get him set up. My wife takes over. I go get back in the bed. They start banging and banging and banging and doing construction. So I didn't actually fall. No, at like so. Here's the time frame. Like I went to sleep like 2, 3.
Yeah.
I got up 6:37 to handle my son. I passed off to my wife around 8 o'clock. And as soon as I get in the bed to like go back to sleep, dang, like construction outside my window. So I ended up going back to sleep from like 9:30 to 10:40, and I set the alarm for 10:40. And then I just hit Jigga, whatever. What's the Jigga's name actually for real?
Celso.
Yeah, I'm like, your name ain't Jigga.
He's a diehard Jay-Z fan, so that's how he got the nickname Jigga Man.
Yeah. So I was like, bro, just give me to 11:15. Had to obviously go get the morning brew, make the coffee.
Yep. Yes, sir.
Still got the sleep clothes on, still got the silky on, and I'm ready to go.
Well, you know, first of all, I appreciate you taking time out this morning, and trust me, I know what it is living in New York City and having the construction go off. You know, I'm in Washington Heights, I'm in Inwood, so a lot of the chat they recognize and they're familiar with the construction sounds that goes on while I'm even live on stream. My guy Keith, but Keith, first of all, Happy New Year. I hope the New Year's treating you well. Dad life is obviously treating you well, having to be up late and wake up early. I appreciate you taking time out with us this morning. But my guy Keith, let the folks know, how are you feeling this new year? Obviously, the Juan Soto news done passed. We missed out on Yamamoto. We got Marcus Stroman. How are you feeling going into this 2024 season for the New York Yankees?
Good. I know as Yankee fans coming off of 82 wins, a miserable season, a 9-game losing streak, when you need a 9-game winning streak, you want everybody. You want the world, Chico, and everything in it. You want blood. You want, the best players. You want Cashman to stand on business and keep his job and prove why he should not be fired. But, as I came around on it and I try to keep up with the entire league, I looked around the league, and the only team really that did more than us is the Dodgers. And the Dodgers, I can't wait to see them fail. I can't wait to see Yamamoto get rocked in the 3rd inning and not go deep in his first couple games. I can't wait to see Shohei Ohtani, who's only half the player that they're paying for right now, go 0 for 4 and just not be this dominant force that they're expecting out there. So I look at the Yankees. The trade for Verdugo was first, which I remember when we were thinking about that trade, they said Gleyber Torres in that trade. I was like, hell no. But to give up Greg Weissert and 2 other guys I don't even remember, good job, Cashman.
I think it was
then you get Soto, you get Trent Grisham. I feel like people keep forgetting that Trent Grisham is a Gold Glove center fielder. I know Mets fans know who Trent Grisham is, because when he came to Citi Field, he went in on them. So you add him to the mix. Obviously, Marcus Stroman is the addition to the rotation, and everybody was kind of hoping for a Yamamoto or a Blake Snell, even a reunion with Jordan Montgomery. Nobody had Marcus Stroman on the radar. I think that was a sneaky play for 18.5. Come on, that's the type of deal Cashman wants to make. Cashman's not going to get finessed out here. Now we just got to pray for health. We got to hope week. We got to hope that everybody stays healthy and that they have a chip on their shoulder. And I think they will, because you've added some characters like Juan Soto, Verdugo, Stroman to the locker room that play with a different swag and energy, and that's going to raise everybody's compete level. You already have the leaders in the clubhouse like Judge and Cole. I'm ready to go this season, man. I don't think there's any way in hell they go 82. I don't think they win in the 80s. I think they win at least 92 games.
Oh yeah, because I've had the conversation with my co-host TC and the rest of the chat. When you look at the Yankees last year, 82-80, how we finished the season. If you tell me, right, you look at the wild card teams, Texas Rangers, they won the World Series, only winning 90 games. You tell me for the 2024 season, right? You give me that, even that same Yankee team from last year. If I have a healthy Aaron Judge on top of Juan Soto in my lineup, Keith, you can't tell me that's not a minimum 5 to 10 wins that can get you into the wild card when we having those conversations when it comes to the record and how this team could perform this year.
Facts. I'm on WFAN. I'm on Twitter. I'm trying to tell these people, Willie Calhoun's not going to be the DH. Franchi Cordero, we're not going to be relying on a Franchi Cordero home run. They got rid of people on the team that we hated seeing out there. Hicks, Donaldson, IKF. They're not here. We're not going to be relying on Ben Rortvedt. We're not going to be relying on Jake Bowers and Billy McKinney and Greg Allen. You know what I'm saying? So it's now we're going to get back to looking like the Yankees. So much so that they want to go back to the old school road grays. I'm like, all right, whatever y'all think is gonna work. I'm still waiting on a City Connect uniform, Hal and Cashman. We deserve a City Connect uniform. I saw the Mets are doing one. I just think it's gonna look a lot different. It's gonna feel a lot different. And I want to get back to feeling like the dominant force where you have a team beat before first pitch, where they come into Yankee Stadium, they look around, they're surrounded by pinstripe jerseys and wild fans. And as soon as they step out there, they know, hey, it's gonna be a long night.
Yeah, no, 100%, bro. And you hit it right on the head when you talk about the lineup, because Aaron Boone, he was out speaking over the past couple of weeks. But Aaron Boone, and shout out to our guys over there at Talking Yankees, it said Aaron Boone says that Juan Soto will bat second and Aaron Judge will bat third. And I don't think there's any Yankee fan out there that's not going to say it's not common sense to have Juan Soto in the 2 hole and then Aaron Judge in the 3rd hole. If you look at the potential lineup, I think most likely they're going to have DJ LeMahieu leading it off just because they like DJ as a leadoff hitter. But we got DJ, you got Soto, you got Judge as your 3-hole hitter. Anthony Rizzo, he's been working with Judge's hitting coach this in the offseason. Let's see what happens with Anthony Rizzo. You got Gleyber Torres, who you could bat in the 5th hole. You have Giancarlo Stanton that you can put in the 6th. Alex Verdugo in the 7th. Anthony Volpe, and then like Austin Wells as your 9-hole hitter, or some flexibility and just move things up. What's your thoughts on the lineup, Keith? And I want to throw it over to my co-host TC to get his thoughts. What's your thoughts, my guy? Not sure if you can hear.
I just look at this lineup again. There's a lot of guys that you're hoping stay healthy, right? You know, starting off with DJ. DJ hasn't been the player that we saw in 2019, 2020 when we thought he was the best hitter on the team. A lot of us, myself included, I was calling him DJL MVP. I'm like, this guy is clutch. He's auto with runners in scoring position. He's the machine. Now he looks like the washing machine. He looks super washed. But with Sean Casey, he did find something at the end of the last season. So we can only hope that he builds off of that. Rizzo last year, I know people are sleeping on Rizzo, but like, I don't know if you've ever had a concussion. I've had multiple concussions playing football. You're in a fog. You're in a daze. You're not yourself. And I think that man was in a fog and a daze, not himself, so much so that he thought he could play. And the Yankees, I don't know what the hell they were doing. They thought he was good too. He's not concussed. We got to worry about his back issues that he's had for a while. But Rizzo is a dominant force. Stanton is a guy that, like, I know a lot of fans are frustrated with him, want to get him out of here. But if he's motivated, he's a competitor, he's an athlete. If he stays healthy, he's a feared bat. He's over the last decade been one of the like most feared hitters at the plate. Then when you get lower in the lineup, like Gleyber Torres is a sneaky bat to have low in the lineup. Gleyber was arguably our best hitter at times last year. Volpe's going to take a step forward. I don't know if y'all familiar, like Volpe, everybody looks at Volpe, they're like, oh, this kid's going to be a 200 hitter, a 190 hitter. No, he's not. Like, he was never that in his career. You don't get drafted where he got drafted being a 190 hitter. It was his first year facing major league pitching. So I expect him to be better. I expect guys like Jose Trevino. I was talking to Trevi. We did an event in my hometown a couple months ago. He was hurt last year, yo. But, like, he's a guy like us that grew up a Yankee fan. The dream is to play for the Yankees. He tried to champ it out with a bum wrist. They ended up shutting him down in the summer. He went from spring training to June, July playing with a bum wrist. He wasn't effective. So he'll be healthy. That's what I'm saying. So all these guys coming back this year, if they stay healthy, they're going to perform better than they did last year. And they have one of the best lineups in the American League.
Yeah. And Keith, when the Rizzo injury happened, you were on your show. You were one of the first people out there saying there's something wrong with Rizzo. After that collision, as a former football player who played it or whatever, you said you dealt with concussions. You called it out. It was like Anthony Rizzo's he's not right. For weeks you were saying it on your show, but for some reason the medical staff with the Yankees, they didn't see it. I myself, I was an EMT for several years, right? So I have like a little level of like health knowledge or medical training and stuff like that. After a while was like, there's something not right. So how can a guy or doctors or a staff that get paid probably millions not notice that? That right there makes you second guess if the team doctors have the players concerned or the team's concerned first.
Bro, this is New York. We're supposed to have the best doctors, hospitals. Like, they bring people to New York for medical care. When it happened, that was Memorial Day weekend. I think I went to the Friday night game, and I think that might have happened the Saturday game. And what was weird about it was when Tatis stepped back to the bag, Rizzo's head was already down. So, like, in football, a lot of times their heads are down and they collide like this. His head got knocked and it just didn't look right. He stumbled for a second. And, like, what I think happened was that, we lost Judge June 3rd. So that happened to Rizzo. And Rizzo he didn't play for a couple days. They gave him a little bit of rest. But I think he flew out to LA with the team concussed. And then when Judge went down, he's like second in command, and Rizzo felt like, all right, with Judge down, we can't lose Judge and Rizzo back-to-back weeks. He tried to champ it out. I think it was just a mistake by the Yankees after they beat the Dodgers, feeling like, hey, well, we need Anthony Rizzo. We can't lose Judge and Rizzo because we're thin, right? Like, that's the thing. They didn't have enough depth. They didn't have enough quality backups, so they kind of forced him to play. He played 2 months like that. It was negligent. It was irresponsible. It was a mistake. And all we can hope is that nothing like that happens again and his back stays healthy and he returns to the player. Like I remember, and I always say this on WFAN, his bobblehead night, Anthony Rizzo, Mandalorian. I'm like, this guy is one of the best in the league. He's one of the best first baseman in the league. He had 2 homers that night. He was a dog that night. That's the Anthony Rizzo that we can expect if he's healthy.
Yeah, you know, and he started the first month and a half over 300 hitter, double digits in home runs, 10 home runs. We thought he was going to have the best season of his career. And then that weekend against Fernando Tatis and the Padres happened. TC, I'm going to throw it over to you to get your take when it comes to the lineup and have Keith go back and forth. Go ahead, TC.
Yeah, I mean, Keith nailed it. It's the health. The health of this team is the key. And, you know, whatever could go wrong went wrong last year. And unfortunately, that's, you know, it happens sometimes. So this year, hopefully it's a different story, and you know, Judge stay away from Walls and Rizzo stay away from, you know, Tatis, and we'll be okay. But yeah, as far as the lineup goes and who's lead off, yeah, DJ most likely. I think I see him as lead off. I wouldn't mind seeing Verdugo there a couple times or Glaber. But ultimately, I would love to see Anthony Volpe as leadoff. He needs, I mean, he's the perfect leadoff hitter with his speed in front of Judge and Soto. I mean, that's a dynamic lineup. And but you know, we'll see how it goes with the different. I do want to say that I need to see some consistent lineups. The lineups last year, it was like a million different lineups every day.
No more musical chairs.
We got to keep a consistency there. Yeah, the leadoff hitters and, you know, righties, lefties, who's pitching. I think I will see some alternating. I don't think I see Giancarlo Stanton playing every day. I think we'll see Soto DH a lot. We'll have Grisham out in center. So I'm really excited to see this lineup. I mean, they're going to put up some runs. They really are, and they're going to surprise some people. And the pitching will hold up because the run support will be there. You know, like Keith said, no more Frenchie Corderos, no more Willie Big Bangs, no more of those guys. You know,
no more
we got
Jake
some
Bowers.
real legit players now. Yep.
Yeah. I want to shout out. I got a question from the chat, but before I do that, folks, we got over 80 people in the building. If you're watching us on Instagram, Facebook, or on X, as the young kids call it nowadays, click the link in the bio and jump on over to YouTube. Join the conversation. We are on our way to 4,000 subscribers. We are at 3,077. So smack that like button and hit the subscribe button. Our friend Uncle Tats in the chat, Keith, brought up a question. He said, Keith, did Boone's interview with Evan and Tiki leave you confident going into the 2024 season? And what do you think when it comes to Peraza's future?
Yeah, I mean, I was happy to see that he even popped up on WFAN with Evan and Tiki. He's been on tour. He just did the Foul Territory podcast. Saturday, I'm doing the event where I'll be asking him questions at Baseline Social in Fort Monmouth County, where I'm from. You know, Boone doesn't duck anything. You know, Boone is measured. Boone and the Yankees, they know what they're doing right now. This is the last year of Aaron Boone's contract. This is a big year. This is a bounce back year. And they know how upset Yankee fans are and were. And they know that you got to get out in front of it. You got to kind of campaign, like, you know, similar to right now with the election and politicians going out state to state and doing primaries and whatnot, seeing people kissing babies. So, like, it just gives people a better morale. So with him coming on Evan and Tiki, first off, Evan Roberts is probably the biggest baseball nerd I've ever met.
Yeah.
As far as, like, this guy is a baseball encyclopedia, and he's not just a Met fan. He asks good questions about the Yankees, and he asked them a ton of good questions. You know, you guys were just talking about the lineup changes. One of the questions that I have for him is, you know, when you guys are putting together the lineups, right? Like, can we get some consistency this year, or is that something dependent on the scheduled rest? And I feel like because of the scheduled rest, that's why we're going to see different lineups. And as we're talking about the health of the lineup and guys staying healthy, preemptively, they're going to schedule rest days for guys where, like, Rizzo might get hot, and then a Sunday game, he might not be in the lineup. And as Yankee fans, we're going to be like, yo, where the hell is Rizzo? And he's going to be sitting in the dugout perfectly fine, and we're going to need him. But, you know, I did listen to that interview, and I actually want to go back and listen again before I interview Boone. I was confident. I thought they did a good job. And as far as Peraza goes, man, that is a depth piece. Somebody's going to get hurt. Somebody's going to go down, whether it's, you know, Volpe, whether it's Glaber, which I hope not. Those young boys better be ready to play, you know, 150, 160 games. But DJ, right? If DJ goes down, Peraza, you're up. third base. That's you, homie. Show the people, right? He struggled a couple times. He came up last year. He was batting 188. But like towards the end of the year, I think he started to get a little more comfortable and he realized I'm here now, right? Like I dominated at the AAA level. I got to adjust to the big league level and dominate on the show. And I have faith in him because they haven't traded him yet, right? So like think about how many guys we talked about over the years, a Luis Castillo, or even this offseason, a Corbin Burns, a Shane Bieber, a Dylan Cease. They're probably asking for Oswald Peraza. The fact that they haven't moved on from this kid is because they believe in him. And I know they believed in him because we watched him play shortstop for the Yankees in the ALCS in 2022. And that wasn't fair to the brother. That wasn't fair to the young man. Right, here you go, kid. Go face the Astros, play shortstop for us in the final series of the year with the whole world watching. He's gonna come along, and I think he's gonna show the people. I don't think that he's a 188 hitter. He's shown to be much better than that at the AAA level. I think he just has to adjust and arrive and realize, yo, you're in the show now. You're a big league player, and specifically a Yankee.
Yeah, my man went from he went from Scranton, Pennsylvania to the playoffs in the MLB, and like you said, it wasn't fair for Peraza, and the fact that the Yankees, they haven't included Peraza in a trade, or we haven't even heard rumors on the Yankees are close to finalizing a deal with Peraza, and it is the fact that I think Brian Cashman, he recognizes that DJ LeMahieu, he ain't a spring chicken anymore. He ain't young. He's not the young DJ LeMahieu. He's literally just coming off a hip surgery a couple of years ago. So he knows DJ LeMahieu is not going to be an everyday 162 game player this year or going forward in his future. So having a guy like Peraza who can fill in at third base, who can fill in at shortstop, who can fill in at second base is a key piece to have for your squad. If you're trying to build a team to go 162 games, having two guys who could play multiple positions, and Peraza and Cabrera being the outfield and the infield, Peraza being the infield, that right there is going to be a key piece going forward, especially when you have a lot of aging veterans that we're used to them going on the IL a couple of times a season. But folks in the chat, we're going to take a pause real quick. We got our guy Frank Luna backstage because Keith brought up the event that's coming on this weekend. Keith, just let them know. I'm going to just play this real quick. Just let them know about the event, where the event is at, and if they want to buy tickets, the Eventbrite link is in the description of this video. Go ahead, Keith, and I'm going to bring up Frank to join us on the conversation.
Man, shout out to Frank. It's a good day for a good day, Frank. Frank is solid from my area. And what I'll say is, there's a ton of Yankee fans in the Jersey Shore area. I grew up never really going to the stadium, but going to bars and meeting random Yankee fans that just would, be in the bars and watch the games. And I just have great memories of that. And so now to grow up and, make it a WFAN and be able to come home and work with people like Frank and Brandon Steiner on doing these Yankee events. We did the Jose Trevino event that I mentioned. Last summer, we did Paul O'Neill. And now this Saturday, Aaron Boone is pulling up to Baseline Social. It is a state-of-the-art venue. It's huge. They have stages in there, mega screens, big screens. There's a golf simulator in there. And it's at Fort Monmouth, which used to be like an army base. Now Netflix has property out there. And when you see this property, you're going to be like, yo, what the hell? There's a buffet, open bar, and it's going to be a day party for Yankee fans. I'll be interviewing Aaron Boone on stage, and we're going to ask him the real questions. I'm going to ask him some questions about himself, his personal life, but I'm going to ask him about the Yankees and being the Yankee manager and the questions that, Yankee fans call me on WFAN after the games and ask. I'm going to ask him to his face, and I think that's good. He's not going to duck it. He's a good guy. He's a former Yankee, and we're going to have this event Saturday. There's going to be a ton of social media pics and videos that come from it if you can't make it, but if you can, I would say pull up $20 to get in, but all the way up to like $150, which will get you open bar, buffet, pictures with Boone, autographs, and of course, I'm in there as well. So I look forward to seeing some people, meeting some people this Saturday. I'm so over the NFL. I could care less about the NBA season. I'm going through the motions until I get on the flight to go to spring training, and I'm just ready for the Yankee vibe and the Yankee energy, and this is one of them this weekend.
Yes, right. Like my guy Keith said, if you guys want to get tickets for this event, if you guys in the tri-state area or you guys in Jersey, the link for the Eventbrite Praise is in the description of this video. My guy Rod Thompson with the $9 super chat, he says, major shout outs Yankees Brew and Keith. Keep doing your thing. Question for Keith: do the Yankees get Snell, and should they get Snell? I think that's the question that most Yankee fans they have on their mind when it comes to free agency and Blake Snell. What's your thoughts on the question, real quick, Keith, before we bring Frank up?
So I think the only way they get Snell is if two things happen. If nobody is willing to give Scott Boras, which Scott Boras, I'm about tired of. This dude is an evil villain in baseball. He's like a Bond villain in baseball. He set his number at 9 years, $270 million. Snell is a dog. Snell is a 2-time Cy Young winner. But I'd be damned if the Yankees pull up with over $200 million for him. That's not going to happen.
Yeah.
No way.
Two things need to happen. A team like the Angels needs to not meet those requirements and actually give him the bag. And time needs to go on. A report just came out that Scott Boras he's willing to, take this thing all the way into spring training. So what I'm hoping and praying actually happens, because I don't want to say, nah, we're not going to get Snell. Because if we got Snell, it's on. Like, you just already know. Like, you put him in as a number 2. And if Clark is the 6th man or whatever, then we're really ready to roll. Blake Snell is good friends with Aaron Judge. Him playing for the Tampa Bay Rays. I don't know if he still has his place, but I remember watching him on Twitch, Snellzilla. He had a nice place in Tampa. It would be perfect. He could pull up to spring training late. The Yankees supposedly offered him 6 years, $150 million. If they added another year and added another $25 million to that, I think that's the only way it could happen. And Snell would have to be like, all right, y'all, let's ride. I want to win. Judge is my boy. I've been on the opposing side of Yankee Stadium. Now I want to join forces with y'all. Let's do it. I'm not going out to play for Ron Washington and, lose 100 games in the AL West. I want to win. I'm getting up there in years. I'm already rich. I'm already a 2-time Cy Young winner. Now I want to win the World Series with the Yankees. And, their offer is enough to be a Yankee, because there's a ton of money, Blake Snell, that comes with being in New York and being a Yankee. Now, if you want to go be a bum somewhere else and have the AAV and the longer contract, go for it. But if you want to win and you want to be the man and be on a team of stars, then go ahead and take that deal from the Yankees. Reports are nobody else has offered him, but a lot of Yankee fans are thinking like that doesn't mean anything. He's not going to take that low offer. Anything can happen, man. Give it some time.
Yeah, February 14th has been pitchers and catchers are reporting at Yankee Stadium. And if it's February 3rd and Blake Snell hasn't signed, if I'm Brian Cashman, I'm circling the fences. I'm calling up Scott Boras. I'm like, all right, maybe the first offer was a little bit too petty. I'll offer you the 170 for the same amount of years. You got 6 years and you got a little bit more money than Rodon. Maybe he comes around when it comes to that. But folks, we're going to bring our friend Frank Luna up for the conversation. Again, if you guys want to enter into the giveaway, into the duck race, it's a $4.99 super chat, or you could go to Buy My Coffee for the double entry. So without further ado, my guy, Mr. Frank Luna, is in the building. Frank, salute.
I'm Frank.
Oh, you're muted, Frank. It's like every time Frank comes on, he forgets to hit
that beard. Love the beard.
I'm muted because I'm used to that corporate life where everything's like a muted Zoom. So I'm on mute all day, and I'm just like, dude, I just try to listen so they see if they're calling my name to ask me a question. But
facts.
Man,
Frank, good morning. How you feeling?
Oh man, I'm good, man. Like he said, it's a good day for a good day. Can't wait for this weekend. I mean, like Keith said, bro, to think about the things we're doing at the Jersey Shore with these guys, like, bro, you used to have to go to like Last Licks in New York to meet a New York Yankee when you were from the shore. Now the fact that we got these guys, and not like, we got legends, man, like Keith McPherson and Paul O'Neill on stage at the Stone Pony in Asbury Park. Like, Keith, growing up, how many times you drove by that place and you'd be like, man, I'll never be on a stage there, right? Like, and then like you're on a freaking stage with Paul O'Neill. I mean, it's just
I was wasted in there. I went to the Barstool Blackout tour in there. Actually, one of my cousins did like a talent show, and I actually was on stage DJing for him, but there was nobody in there. It was crickets. We had like 200 people in there. So,
believe it or not, we hit 450 at that Paul O'Neill event.
Oh, 450?
Like, wow. Yeah, dude. Yeah.
It's kind of hard to count hundreds of people. When I was on stage, I'm like, there's at least 200 people in here.
Yeah, but bro, that was like, that was one of those things that, growing up as a kid, but like I never would anticipate that. Doing that and then raffling off an autographed picture from Paul O'Neill, got $2,500 for the Asbury Park Little League. I mean, dude, it's just we're moving, man. And Aaron Boone, I love Keith. I'm grateful Keith is able to MC that event Saturday with Boone because, you know, obviously he's a media personality. He's a real Yankees fan. And Keith's going to ask him the questions. And, you know, like Keith and I were trading some notes about Boone and his personal life. You know, talk about the politician stuff. Like a lot of people don't know Aaron Boone adopted kids from a foreign country. And, you know, when all that stuff was going on with the, you know, the turmoil and the Black Lives Matter stuff, Aaron Boone was donating to that cause. And, you know, he's a much deeper guy than inconsistent lineups. And that's what I love about these events, that they give fans and guys like me and Keith the opportunity to chop it up and do some fun stuff. So it's sweet, man. It's cool.
Yeah. You know, it's funny too, Frank, from the last time that you was on the show, right? After we had you on, I went to Florida the next day to go out there to spend like the New Year's with my brother-in-law down there. When I was on the plane, there was a couple that had the Stone Pony t-shirts from the bar, like on the plane while I was there. So I was like, listen, it's hilarious. I just was on, I was just had Frank on. He was talking about the Stone Pony, but we got another entry into the giveaway, talking about the giveaway. 80 with the $4.99. Frank, let the folks know what we're gonna be raffling off today with the duck race. And Keith, you in for a treat. This is Frank's favorite thing. That's why he likes coming up to the show.
That's why I give away free stuff that I could be selling. I give it away just because of the entertainment value of my man Celso.
Yeah, that's right.
All right. So originally it was going to be just one Aaron Boone item giveaway, but if you have time for the two, Keith mentioned Trevi. Yo, I want to give away a Trevino autograph. I think Trevi is going to have a season this year that dude is so laser focused, man. I told you guys, and Keith, I don't know if I told you this, bro, like that dude is like focused on 28. You know, you had that conversation with him the whole day. I was just
talking to him about it. Yeah.
Yep. We were with him that Saturday. That whole day Sunday I was with him. We had an event at Yankee Stadium. Bro, that dude is as dialed in. He's got like a alternate Instagram, like manifestos from the mask. That's like his training stuff. Only about 1,200 people follow it. Bro, like he's always commenting like 28 period. You know, like that dude is.
Can I add to this? So, because I was just telling him, I'm like, this guy grew up a Yankees fan in Texas. Yep. You guys remember hearing the stories about his pops raising him like that in the backyard. All right, come on, Jose. It's bottom of the ninth. You got to get a hit. Last year, he was hurt. This is a platinum glove catcher. I linked with him in L.A. when he made the All-Star game. Yep. This is a guy that came in here and helped Kyle Higashioka be a better catcher with his attention to detail, how he prepared for games. The Yankees didn't have him last year. Somehow Garrett Cole, being a savant, was able to win the Cy Young with Ben Rortvedt. We're getting Trevi back this year. His wrist surgery went fine. He's good. He's going to be able to bring his bat this year. Just as much as you want 28, this guy is a Yankee fan today, tomorrow, forever. He wants 28. I was talking to him. He's also a Dallas Cowboys fan. So we had that in common.
I had to deal with that as a Giants fan. I had to eat it. Like
Boone is an Eagles fan. He's showing me pictures of him and Boone at Lincoln Financial Field for the Dallas game. So I'm gonna ask Boone questions about the Philly stuff too.
That's
his dad, you know, I asked him that in Asbury Park, and I don't want to spoil it because that's definitely a great question, Keith, and like it's something he loves talking about. But his dad was with the Phillies when he was a kid. So like that's what made
Aaron Boone up in that clubhouse.
Yeah. I mean, it's I can't wait for Saturday. I can't say enough. So anyway, so we got the Trevino thing, which again I love Trevi. I think that dude is on fire. He is a man possessed to win. And the other thing about Trevi, I'll say, you talk to some of the other players, especially the young guys, Peraza, Oswaldo. You know, bro, Trevi's a leader, man. Like his locker.
Yeah, you could tell.
His locker was between Volpe and Oswaldo Cabrera. Now, if you've all been in a locker room, where your locker is intentional. And the fact that Trevi is between those two young guys tells you a lot about his leadership. You know, they're two young guys the team is invested in.
Show him how to be a pro.
Yeah, bro. And then
not only that goes to show you how the team thinks about Trevino. If the team feels it's good to have Trevino in the middle with them. Shout out to the folks in the chat. We got Sandy Milanalis in the building. Sandy, how are you doing? One half of the Dugout Station. Shout out to Sandy and Julian. They do amazing work. They was with us this season covering Yankees prospects on the pipe. Let's get the pipe season 2.0 going back for the 2024 year. But Frank, what is the other gift that you got? And my guy Ruben with the $5 entry for the giveaway. Go ahead, Frank.
Yeah, Ruben, I'm with it. The other thing will be an Aaron Boone 8x10 autograph. You know, I like Boone, and so we'll do the Trevi, and then we're gonna do a Boone thing. I was gonna give away a Boone. Yo, I think the 8x10 should be that, right? Like that.
I was going to do that for the graphic that I have of Aaron Boone, right? I was going to have that there, but I didn't want to be like too slanderous or disrespectful, right?
Yo, Keith, he doesn't take it like that.
I will be in the building this weekend, so I don't want to be disrespectful.
Cool. No, but he's not like he's a bro too. Like that's the other thing. Like he gets it, man. He's been around sports his whole life at a very high level. I said this. There was a guy who was like trolling Aaron Boone in person to me. He's like, "Oh, bro, like, what's with the Aaron Boone love fest?" I'm like, "Look, dude, I will give you a free ticket to come to Baseline Social. If you think you're going to be the guy who takes Aaron Boone for a walk, like you came in 4th place in your fantasy baseball team, dude. Like, and you're the guy who's going to stump Aaron Boone, who gets asked questions from like the New York media, the toughest media on the planet. You see how he does these podcasts. He's making the rounds right now. You think Aaron Boone's got better stuff to do on a Saturday than stand around Baseline Social for 2 hours? Driving himself from Connecticut? Yeah. Like he's doing another event in the city Monday night. Like he wants to do this stuff. It's not like he's making $1 million doing it. You know,
he's not hiding.
Money. No,
that's the one thing.
And that's leadership.
And he's out there.
And that is leadership. You know, he could be hiding. He could be down in Tampa saying, "Oh, I'm focused on a season." He's engaging with fans. He's shooting people straight. You know, his answer on the consistent lineups is always the same. Guys, like if nobody's hurt, it would be I would love to have the same lineup every day. Yeah. He's like, but you know, everybody's hurt.
He can only work with the player he has, right? The players he got.
Right. No, he didn't build the team.
And that's one thing I always tell people. He didn't trade for IKF. He didn't make IKF the shortstop. He didn't trade for Josh Donaldson. He just have to make the lineup with what he has out there, right? But like there's a famous line that you like to use, Keith, and I always like to bring it up. As of right now, Boone is standing on business. He is showing up at these events. If you feel some type of way, listen, like Frank said, it's $20. Show up, ask him your question. Now, if he embarrass you and makes you look like Bobo the Fool, that's all because of you. Celso, I know you backstage. Let me know if you're ready because we want to respect Keith's time. I know he has to get out of here. Celso's finishing up the duck race. We're gonna have the duck race. Keith, we'll have the duck race before 12 o'clock. That way we respect your time. Let you leave out here perfectly early. So just let me know how long in the private chat before we can do it. But my guy Ruben,
he's gotta go to bed. He needs to sleep.
I know he has a show later today. Ruben in the chat says people have been sleeping on Trevino. He would be very good. His wrist was not healthy since spring training of 2023. He will be much better offensively this year as well.
No doubt.
But you know, and Frank, we had the conversation. I want to ask Keith about it. When it comes to Austin Wells, right? I want to see Austin Wells get a chance. But Keith, how important is it that we have a healthy Jose Trevino to be that veteran leader, especially as a catcher, to help Austin Wells get used to being in the big leagues for 162 games? Because it is a grind.
I just said it when he got here, and I talked to Susan Waldman about this. Susan knows everything, and Susan like is low key like a Yankee spy. Like she's paying attention to everything. His preparation for games, his knowledge coming over here, and something else I wanted to add about Trevino before I go in on this. Remember that he got traded for during spring training.
Yes.
So trades still happen during spring training. I'm trying to remind people like they're not done. You can make a trade in spring training when other teams assess what they have and the Yankees assess what they have. Because if you remember that year, we thought we were actually rolling with Higgy and Ben Rortvedt, but then Ben Rortvedt wasn't even a real person to us. They went and got Jose Trevino. So his preparation, his attention to detail, he is just a pitching, baseball catching savant. This guy is going to help Austin Wells because there was some criticism of Austin Wells behind the plate, and there were some people even projecting him not even to be a catcher, to be a first baseman. We saw him behind the plate last year, and what we loved was that left-handed swing and him, showing us the power. If Trevino can, which I'm sure he already is, help him behind the plate. Volpe and him are like best friends. We all remember the chicken parm dinner they had. He's going to be good at the plate. He's going to be good behind the plate. Trevino is going to help all the pitchers, right? You guys are worried about Carlos Rodon or Marcus Stroman. It's going to help to have a guy like Trevino behind the plate calling those games. So I feel a lot better about having him over Kyle Higashioka and Ben Rortvet. It should be a platoon, I believe, between maybe Trevino, Austin Wells. We'll see how the young boy Wells comes along.
Yeah. Frank, just so the people know, just so we could know about any events coming up in the future. I know you got the Keith event with the event this weekend with Keith and Aaron Boone. Anything else down the pipeline, just so people could start getting their calendars ready?
Yeah, well, we got that huge Yankees show in New Jersey. Keith's going to be at that. What is that? February 3rd and 4th at American Dream.
American Dream, yeah.
That's Anthony Volpe's first public signing as a major leaguer, and his first since he was in Double-A, public signing. So he's a Fanatics guy. So getting Anthony Volpe down the line is going to be, very difficult. So I would get out to that. That's Sunday, February 4th. We're also doing Oswaldo Cabrera at the Woodbridge Brewing Company, which Hector, I saw you at not long ago.
Yeah.
Come out, man. Oswaldo, he's another guy. He had a tough year last year. He'll be the first to tell you, bro. He has been in Tampa since the fall, and he's with Judge. He's with Glaber. He's with their new hitting coach. Like, that dude is. You're going to see a new Oswaldo Cabrera in spring training, and that's another guy, man. He's fired up, man. Like, he's been training differently than in the past. That's another thing. I think these guys are getting. They're trying to figure out their rhythm, man, their routines. They're trying to find places to live. They're doing charity events. Like, their freaking Jeep is getting ticketed. They got you know what I mean? Like, they got stuff going on, man. And like, Oswaldo's grinding, dude. I can't get him on the phone before 8 o'clock at night. And that dude is
Frank, did you get my application? I filled it out for the janitorial services for all your events. I haven't got an answer yet.
You come for free, Celso. I told you, man. You threatened me with a party, bro. You're 100%. You got the DJ's gold card.
Listen, I will do live duck races at every event. I mean, Keith McPherson, MC, and then the duck race follow up. Let's go.
No. I want you in VIP drinking whatever you drink on my head, bro.
That's it.
That's it.
You sold him, Frank. You sold him. You just told him he got open drinks. You just sold him. He's booking his flight from North Carolina right now.
Man. Come on, Celso.
Keith, I'll say, man, it was funny when you messaged me and you were like, can I, I'm going to be a couple minutes late. Bro, I was already messaging you because I saw your tweet. I was like, this man got no sleep. He got construction going on. I was like, Keith, get some sleep, my guy.
Rough morning.
Before we get to the duck race real quick, right, Keith, I just want to say, give you your credits and give you your flowers because I heard you yesterday with our guy CP, the franchise, talking about the Knicks. And we got a Knicks show on the channel that we do with Jerry Ferrara. I know the Nets and the Knicks, they play one more time in March. So would love to have you back for around that time so we can have the conversation. Knicks and Nets,
the Nets are trash, but I know everything about them. I'll talk about them. I'm not ducking that either. Somebody hit me and they're like, "Oh, funny how you stopped repping the Nets now that they suck." I'm like, that's impossible, bro. I'm like, I'm not you. You're hiding behind Knicks fan for life. 1, 2, 3. Like, I can't hide. People know I'm a Nets fan. Like, I'm out here as me. I can't duck that smoke.
Well, I was like, who was it? Was it Evan? His clip yesterday, oh my God, he had me dying.
Oh yeah,
him, Tiki, and Tommy went to the game, and like he can't enjoy the game. He knew, me too. We knew eventually the Nets were going to lose. We knew it. We've watched them blow so many games. They're cooked, bro. They need to fire everybody.
The last five. I know this is not a Knicks podcast or Nets podcast, but the last 5.
They blew the Clippers game. They're bums. They lose to the Trailblazers, the Wizards. Can't figure it out. Well, that's why I'm ready for the Yankees to start. So I'm like, I don't care about the NBA.
Yeah, I was just about to say, if you guys can't tell, Keith is ready for the Yankees to start. Go ahead, so let's do the duck race.
Real quick, let me first say, for all of you that helped out and you bought your entry through the buymeacoffee.com, we appreciate you guys. Love that you guys are leaving little notes in there too. So right now, I want to make sure I see people all the time. They're like, oh, these duck races when they lose. It's funny how they say it's rigged, right? It's like, no, you lost. So look, I'm going to shuffle right in front of everybody. Shuffle.
Not the NFL.
Shuffle 3 times. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what, Heck? Can we?
It's like playing spades. You got to shuffle the card deck.
I'm just going to shuffle like crazy. Just make sure no one's in there. All right, let's see if I can go full layout here. Oh,
Yo, Celso, is this for the Trevi or the Boone photo?
We'll do this first one. We'll do the Trevi first.
Yeah, the first one's for the Trevi.
But everybody that up until this point has been entered, you guys are entered into both giveaways. So if those of you that want to get in on the Aaron Boone one, go ahead and drop those super chats. Keith, I'm going to give you my best duck race call to see if I can carry your bags at the Aaron Boone event. Ladies and gentlemen, let the race begin. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to your morning ducky race. Quack your asses off. Here we go. Damian Serrano came suited up with the cigar. My man is in the lead looking pretty dapper for a ducky. Look at me, right? He's like, oh, I am fancy. Ain't nobody catching the fancy. Oh, I spoke too soon. Here comes Rob Thompson with the fairy hat. Damian Serrano looking educated with that little graduation cap. Oh, you're so smart, but you're not winning the damn race. Ruben falling back out of first place. Here we go. It seems 20.
It's always somebody from the back.
Someone from the back. Pause. 01 LS1Z28DABX is making a leap. Coming in the first. Oh, he got a flat tire. Sorry, 01 LS. You're done. Uncle Tad's holding it down. We got 12 seconds left on the clock. Is Grandpa Tad's going to be the duck that finally wins it? Poor guy always. Oh, no. Here it goes. Someone from behind. He's looking gangster. The winner is Mike Perez.
Mike Perez wins the first duck race
out of nowhere.
This one was for the Trevino signing. Mike Perez, if you're in the chat, email us MediaTeam at Morning Brew Sports. Again, that's MediaTeam at Morning Brew Sports. Put the number 1. Give us your information so we can get this out to you. We'll have the next one just like in 60 seconds just to see if anybody else wants to join it. Celso has been practicing this, Keith, for his entire life for this moment. If you didn't notice, he went to theater school and everything just for this moment to be on YouTube calling duck races. So school works out. Well done. Keith, last question before we let you go, right? Before the last duck race, going into spring training, right? Obviously, we already know about Judge and Soto and we talked about DJ LeMahieu, but are there any other sleepers or any other X factors that this team has that you're looking forward to going into this season? Whether it's the middle of the year or whether it's spring training, any player that sticks out specifically for you?
You know what? I don't know necessarily X factors because I think we all know what we have on this team, and we're just hoping that they're healthy and they can actually do it. But, man, I'm really interested to see how this bullpen comes together. If they add to the bullpen, whether they bring back Wandy Peralta, because there's been a lot of talk about like, oh, they lost out on Josh Hader. I'm like, you can't lose something you never had. I think Hader always wanted to go back to Houston where he once was. I also think he wasn't cutting that long hair. Like, but when I look at the bullpen, the Yankees take a lot of pride in how Matt Blake and Brian Cashman, how they build and develop these bullpen arms. And a guy like Scott Efros coming back, we didn't see him at all last year. What's he going to be able to do? Is Clay Holmes going to figure it out and actually be a solid closer? Jonathan Loaizaga, can Johnny Els stay healthy and do the damn thing? A guy from my area, Ron Marinaccio, the pride of Toms River North. He's got to have a big year. You ain't a rookie anymore. Like, I'm really looking like when I go, I'll be at spring training March 20th to 25th. I'm really going to be looking at like, who are the guys coming out of the bullpen that are going to be locked down that we can count on, because that's important, man. If you guys are worried about the rotation, you should also be worried about the bullpen. And I don't know exactly how it's going to shape out, but I have faith in Cashman. I have faith in Matt Blake, because that's something that they always figure out, the bullpen. So X factor for the Yankees, not one player, but as a whole, I want to see what this Yankee bullpen is like this year.
All right, that's good. And you brought it up always, and I always reference it. Last year when it came to the Yankees, their bullpen numbers, it was kind of hit or miss, because they on paper they look like they had one of the best bullpens in all of Major League Baseball, but inherited runners, bro. That rate, the 28th, 29th, 30th in the league, it's a bit tricky. So I want to see Aaron
Tommy
Boone.
Kahnle was pissing me off last year.
Oh my God,
we lose a Michael King. They were relying on Ian Hamilton. They were
Nick
a
Ramirez.
different bullpen with runners on.
So. Yeah,
and
you know, again,
Keith,
to that point,
if I can, let me give you a name. Let me give you a quick name, Keith. Luis Hill. What do you think about him as an X factor in that pen?
Him coming back, Luis King of the Hill. He looked like he had a lot of command. He looked like he was an older player than he actually was. He looked like, Yankee Stadium wasn't too big for him 2 years ago. He's a good depth piece because one of the arms are going to go down. You're going to need somebody to fill in and make some starts. I hope that young man is ready to go, coming off of missing a year. So Luis Hill, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what he has too, because we saw a small glimpse of what he had 2 seasons ago.
Yeah, and I think to that point, especially bullpen pieces, you look at 2 young guys, and I'm really excited to watch them in spring training. Will Warren and Clayton Beater. They're 2 guys. Beater's on a 40-man. I don't think Will Warren is right now, but they protected Clayton Beater for a reason. He was a big prospect before he got here, and he's continued to shine pretty well here. So he's somebody I could see eating up some bullpen innings. A lot of folks have said he's going to move to the bullpen eventually, just based on his skill set. And then Will Warren, man, that dude, he's a dog. We
need a left-handed reliever. I was on WFAN talking about it, and I realized we're relying on Nick Ramirez. Yeah, definitely got to bring Wandy back. We're relying on Nick Ramirez and Matt Crook right now. It's not. It's not solid.
Victor Gonzalez, we picked up from the Dodgers,
and Victor Gonzalez as well from the Dodgers. But I'm gonna need Wandy back,
no
right?
Nick
Just
Ramirez,
because
please, no Nick Ramirez.
No Nick Ramirez. And credit to Nick Ramirez, right? This is not me trying to downplay him and what he can do on the baseball diamond. I'm just a guy on YouTube that I'm into Pokemon and Power Rangers, right? So I can't complain about Nick Ramirez going out there. But Nick Ramirez, he's just in situations where the game is garbage time, it's blown out. Cool, copy. He can eat some innings. But in pressure moments last year, it seemed like whenever it was a 2-run game or a 1-run game and we brought in Nick Ramirez, there go the lead. Every time Nick Ramirez came in, boom, the lead just went out the window. So you ready for the last one?
At least we don't have to watch Albert Abreu this year.
Oh, God. Listen, don't say his name. That man will pop up like Candyman if you say his name 3 times. Brian Cashman will definitely go and sign him or trade for him just because you bring him up, Keith. So you ready to go? 1 segundo. So shout out to the chat. My guy Ally Wise is in the building. Peace, God. I hope all is well with you. Salute. We got over 50 people in the building. If you guys can smack that like button, and we are sitting at 3,079 on the subscribers, on our way to 4K. If you guys can help us out, we got the 3K yesterday. We are trying to get to 4K coming up. So the duck races is coming in right now. Again, Keith, thank you so much taking time out. Any plans for spring training? Do you plan on going down there for spring training? I know it's kind of tough with the kid and with the gig at WFAN.
I'm bringing the baby. I'm bringing my wife. We're all going. Right now, the only plans that I have are to link with John and Susan. John is doing the game on the 25th. That's the only game John Sterling is doing. Susan will be on all the games, and they'll have a rotating cast of Ricky Ricardo, Emmanuel Barbari, Justin Shackle. And I don't call games, but I've been on the call with them in spring training. I'll pop in for an inning or 2 and just add some color commentary and do what I do. So that's my only plan. But what I want to do is some type of meetup. So I'm talking to some people that are down there in Tampa to maybe do a meetup at a bar or restaurant so that people don't have to buy tickets to the games. But I probably will be at every game that is going on while I'm down there. I know they play the Mets while I'm down there. So if you're there March 20th through 25th, just hit me on Twitter. And, I look forward to meeting Yankee fans and linking and watching the team.
Yeah, we plan on going down there for spring training. I'm probably about to be down there for the entire month of March, but myself and Celso. So we'll hit you, on the Twitter DMs to set something up with us out there. But Celso, you ready to go, my guy? Last duck race, and then we gotta let Keith go because he gotta beat up some construction workers.
I'm about to say we'll actually let Keith get out of here so he doesn't.
No, they're on lunch. They're on lunch now. I need to eat something. I ain't had anything to eat today.
All right, so Keith, we'll let you go then, bro, while we do this last duck race and get ready to get out of here. Appreciate you, my guy. I'll see you this weekend, brother. Peace, my guy.
buddy. Always great when Keith stops by, man.
Of course, that's our guy Keith McPherson. And again, you guys can follow him on X. Make sure you guys call in WFAN when Keith is on KM to AM.
We keep hearing this. Yankees Morning Brew needs a voicemail. Actually, the GG show has a voicemail line on Saturday's show, so you guys can start doing that. If we start getting more voicemails on it, then we'll add some voicemails throughout.
Maybe, yeah.
You know, who knows? But, you know, let's be real. No one's here to see my ugly face. They just want the damn duck race. Let's shuffle it up. This is for the Aaron Boone.
Wow.
Shuffly. We're going full screen.
Shuffle on screen.
Good luck to everybody. Good luck to all entrants. I hope you definitely juiced up your ducky before we started. Oh, look, we got ones with gray hair. Ladies and gentlemen, let the race begin for the Aaron Boone autograph from our boy Frank Luna, the race up. Mike Perez said, I won once. Why not win again? Mike Perez comes out with a fast start. Look at you, Mike, all plain and yellow.
I'm calling it right now. I think it's going to be Rod Thompson or Uncle Tat.
Ladies and gentlemen, do not take any betting advice from Hector. Thompson is in the lead. Oh, Dr. McLaughlin is in the lead. Oh, but look, we got Chef Thompson. Oh, look at this one. Ah, look at me. I'm a strawberry. 01 LS1Z28DABX. Then you got, oh, look, that duck NFE thought he was slick coming in looking like a rooster. But Chef Thompson is in the lead. Grandma? Uncle Tats?
See?
You get it?
Grandma, Uncle Tats.
Uncle Tats in the lead. 10 seconds left. Is Grandma going to hold it? Oh, but here comes a strawberry out of nowhere. No, it's not a duck. It's a strawberry duck. In the lead, we got Strawberry for the win. 01 LS1Z.
Mars 01 LS1Z2ADABX. He won the rubber ducky race. Where everybody at? Marsh, you already have our email. Email us MediaTeam@morningbrewsports.com. Put the number 2 so we know it is the Aaron Boone autograph that you won. Give us your information so we can send it out to you. My guy Frank, again, appreciate you with these
guys, man.
giveaways. You know, this is stuff we're gonna be doing during the season. Go ahead.
That Grandpa Tats had a grandma outfit on. Like, you couldn't plan that any better.
And the crazy thing, that's not the first time. That's like the third time that Grandpa Tats.
I know. It's like, oh, Grandpa, here you go. Man,
but Frank
thank
again,
you so much, bro.
I appreciate you guys, man. I'll say this: the community you guys are building and have built. I mean, it's real, and you know, I know it's a hustle. I know it's a grind, and I know. You start out at 0 subscribers, and now you're up to 3,074, and you're like, man, are we ever going to get to 3,075? You know, it's, and I'm rooting for you like no tomorrow. And
I appreciate
you. Look, man, these autographs are fun to share with people, and I appreciate your guys' friendship and support. And man, we're all just at the beginning of this stuff. You know, I've been doing these events just a year. You know, and last year I was a paid customer at the event. That Yankees Pinstripe Pride weekend. Last year I was a paying customer, and this year I'm gonna be there with 3 different guys who are Yankees. You know, like that's crazy when you really think about it like that. Like, so whatever that hustle is, you guys are doing it, and I appreciate just getting to know you and
likewise, Frank. I appreciate you, helping us out when it comes to the giveaways, but also too at the events, letting us know that we could come, cover the events. And I'm gonna be there this weekend. I'll be there at the American Dream Mall as well. And just looking forward to just doing great work with you. As they say, good work, no good people, right? As they say, right, Frank?
Yeah. But I appreciate you guys, and everybody in the Yankees Morning Brew world, as Celso would do.
Appreciate you, Frank. I see
you
this weekend,
guys,
brother.
Enjoy the day. We'll see you fellas
later, my guy.
Too. God bless.
So that was our guys, Frank Luna and Keith McPherson from WFAN. Good conversation, right? Was able to touch on a lot of stuff, the bullpen, the lineups, everything from Keith. What's your thoughts, real quick? I wanted to ask him about the Hall of Fame, but I didn't want to, like hold him for too long. I want to respect his time, but
he's got to go meet me.
He got to go meet me. He got to get ready. He got a show later on today, but. Going back to the Hall of Fame conversation just for a little bit, I know we talked about Mattingly. I know we talked about Sheffield being snubbed, but 2 guys to me that are snubbed, and maybe some Yankee bias, maybe some Yankee hate, but 2 guys that I feel that are the ultimate snub, it's Bernie Williams and Jorge Posada. Both of them. Both guys should. Jorge Posada is going to go down as one of the best, if not top 10 offensive catchers of all time, right? In the middle of that Yankee dynasty, right? After Paul O'Neill retired, after Tino Martinez moved on, I know we signed Jason Giambi, but a big part of our offense was Jorge Posada. He had that one season. Didn't he win a batting title with us? So he was second when it comes to batting average towards the end of his career. So Jorge Posada, to me, should be a Hall of Famer. Bernie Williams definitely should be a Hall of Famer. If you look at Bernie Williams' numbers from the postseason alone, Bernie Williams is a 295 hitter. He has over 20 home runs, 80 to 90 RBIs. His postseason numbers are equivalent to an average player or all-star player regular season numbers. TC, I'll throw it over to you. What's your thoughts on that? And shout out to folks in the chat. Shout out my guy Truth Always. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, I mean, Bernie Williams played probably a whole season of postseason games. So yeah, just that alone, and people forget the defense. I mean, he provided excellent defense in center field. I mean, the plays he would make, I mean, overlooked. That's really overlooked. I know his arm wasn't as strong, but the guy could play the outfield. And yeah, his numbers in the postseason, all the clutch. I mean, I just go back and watch all the old, 96 and 98, all the old playoffs and just I'm mesmerized as how many hits Bernie Williams, how many clutch performances he's had. And yeah, it's a shame that he's getting snubbed, and Jorge Posada as well. I mean, as a catcher, in the middle of these dynasty years, he was the rock. I mean, he kept this team together. He kept these guys, focused. We hear the stories of getting in people's faces in the dugouts, and he just wanted to win. That whole dynasty, they all were winners. They all rallied around Derek Jeter. I mean, but Posada, his defense, it was okay. It wasn't the greatest, but offensively, he put up great numbers. Switch hitter. I mean, you can't argue with that. I mean, yeah, those guys, they got to be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, and I would say it's Yankee bias. And shout out to my guy Austin Cruz from BX Sports Jedi. He says Bernie to me is more of a Hall of Famer than Posada. Even I did like Posada myself. If we was to have it, if the writers would be like, all right, you can only have one, which one of them? And if I had to choose, I would lean closer to Bernie. Bernie won a couple of gold gloves. Bernie had that batting title in the 90s at the peak of the steroid era. I would give it to Bernie Williams. And Bernie Williams, he's a 4-time World Series champ. Posada, a 3 times World Series champ. So for me, both of those guys, if not, or at least one of them, should be in the Hall of Fame. I want to shout out some more people that are in the chat. The open panel, we'll have the open panel next Tuesday. Not today. Won't do an open panel today. Shout out to everybody that's in the chat. My guy Scott. Fan Brunch is in the building. Good show, fellas. I appreciate you, my guys. Salute, salute, salute. 3 capital S's. Cheesy Soul Cakes. Can we talk Knicks now? No. We got to talk Knicks later on. We got the pregame report later on tonight. And we're doing a watch along. We're going to be in playback with our friend Jerry Ferrara. If you guys want to come watch the Knicks game, if you're not even a Knicks fan, you want to hang out and play back, you can hang out and play back. You can ask Jerry some entourage or power questions. Whatever you want to do, come hang out with us. Go to the Knicks Morning Brew. The last video we did, the link to the description, the link to the playback is in the description of the last Knicks Morning Brew live from yesterday, 7 p.m. tonight with the Knicks Morning Brew. Come join the pregame report. TC, any last thoughts before we get out of here, my guy? Any last topics you want to cover real quick?
Well, I'm just thinking, I wanted to ask the chat, where do you think the Yankees go? Do you think the Yankees are going to make any more moves? I mean, are they going to bring back some bullpen guys like Peralta or Middleton? I mean, I don't know. It looks like we're out of the Neris sweepstakes. Is Snell still a possibility?
Yeah, I think.
What do we think here?
I think we're out on Neris, right? If I was a betting man, I would bet the bullpen. If we were going to add any additions to this team, it would be from the bullpen. That's where I would go if I'm the Yankees GM. But the conversation with Keith, it was very intriguing because if Blake Snell continues to go unsigned, maybe the Yankees come back around and just test the water to see. But again, if I was a betting man,
you never know.
I had to put some money down on it. I think Blake Snell is going to wind up with the Seattle Mariners. He is from that area. I know he's cool with Aaron Judge, but he is from that Seattle, Washington area. He has a little league travel team, 12 and under, that he started this offseason that's called the Snellzillas, the name that Keith was saying from his Twitch channel. So he has dedication. He already has promises that he already put out there in the area of Seattle, if you understand what I'm saying. So he has an under 12 travel team that's in Seattle. So he has obligations already in that area. So like I said, if we could sign him, we could sign him. But I think Blake Snell, like L.I. Yankee King said, he's going to the Mariners. If I put some money down on it.
I don't think that's possible. Snell and Bellinger. There's no way that the Yankees are throwing out that much money. And like you guys were talking about on Tuesday, they're at what, 305, the payroll right around now. Is that what
and like Joe Man says, we got about like 5 catchers on the 40-man roster. So the Yankees are going to have to do something before spring training. Like I said, February 14th is when pitchers and catchers report. The first spring training for the game, the first spring training game for the New York Yankees, I think it's February 24th against the Detroit Tigers is the first Yankees spring training game. So pitchers and catchers report the 14th. The first game is the 24th, literally less than 30 days, 29 days away. So just got to figure out what we're going to do from now until then. But Brian Cashman, he has some decisions to make, Kenyon Middleton, Wandy Peralta. I don't think both of them will be back, but I think one of them will be back. And if I had to choose, I would choose Wandy. I want Wandy to be that lefty coming out of the bullpen. I don't have a lot of faith in Matt Crook. I don't have a lot of faith in Nick Ramirez. I know we got that other lefty from the Dodgers. I'm not sure how he's going to pan out. Victor Gonzalez over here in the American League East for the first time. So I'm not sure. So we still have some question marks. But one thing I know, TC, I'm not sure about you. I'll let you finish it. But I know that this team that we have right now on paper, Thursday, January 25th, this is a way better team than last year, especially at this time.
Oh, yeah.
But even this is definitely a way better team that finished the season. What's your thoughts on that? And then we'll wrap it up, brother.
Yeah, and that's the key on paper. So, it's again, it's the health. But yeah, looking at this lineup, I mean, just getting Juan Soto alone made this team extremely better. You didn't have to add any more people, but you add a Verdugo, you add a Grisham. I mean, it's that lineup is lengthened now. You got Austin Wells, in there now with the platooning with Trevino. A slim down Stanton. Hopefully he comes back and has a great year. Rizzo, concussion aside, hopefully he's, fully healthy. DJ can contribute back to, 2019 DJ, and, Volpe can have a bounce back season, or, get more experience at the plate. I'd love to see him lead off, but yeah, on paper. And don't forget, we keep forgetting, me included, Gleyber Torres in a contract year. Look out for Gleyber to have a great year. I think he's going to go off. He's going to surprise a lot of people in the middle of that lineup, between wherever they want to put him, Stanton and Rizzo or Verdugo. I think he's surrounded by a lot of hitters now, a lot of legit players now. We have no more of the Corderos and the whatever you guys were talking, Fantastic Four. those days are gone. Please, I don't want to see those guys again. But yeah, on paper, definitely 100% better than last year, and I can't wait to see it. I mean, let's go. I mean, see it.
No more Fantastic Four when it comes to the New York Yankees. Again, shout out to everybody that is out there. If you guys can, buy us a coffee over at buymeacoffee.com/morningbrew sports. The link to that is in the description of this video. And again, if you want to show up to Oceanport, Jersey, if you want to run down on Aaron Boone, if you want to link up with myself, Frank Luna, or Keith McPherson over the weekend, the link for that is in the description as well. Buy yourself a ticket, show up. Appreciate all of you guys. We got a lot of great stuff coming down the pipeline. I will be at spring trading. Shout out to all you guys that are in the chat. Definitely appreciate you guys. But again, we're going to have to bid farewell. Until next time, I'm your guy, Hector. That's my guy, TC. Make sure you drink some water. Say something nice about your neighbor. And until next time, deuces.